What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got a comparison video for you. I've actually never done a video like this before on my channel. I'm really excited about it. I hope you like it too because it was seriously so much fun. But I'm going to talk about that in a minute. First, I wanted to actually talk about the star of today's video, which is the new Do Good polish from Cirque Colors called Moodstone. So I'm actually partnering up with Cirque for today's video. If you haven't heard of Cirque Colors before, they are an independent nail polish brand that is based in the US, and all of their polishes are 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. And they do a series of polishes called Do Good, which is fundraising polishes that gives money to different organizations, and they just released this new one, Moodstone. It benefits the JED Foundation. I'm going to read it off of my phone because I want to get it right. I think it's a really important foundation. The JED Foundation is a nonprofit that protects emotional health and prevents suicide for our nation's teens and young adults, giving them the skills and support they need to thrive today and tomorrow. So Cirque is actually supporting them with a minimum $5,000 donation, which I think is absolutely incredible. The polish itself is stunning. I'll give you a quick swatch of it first. Basically, it's this sort of dusty blue jelly base, and then we have this really gorgeous, shifty, iridescent shift in there that looks green at some angles, it looks pink at some angles, and then sometimes in between you get a little bit of gold, and then there's also a very subtle holographic sparkle running throughout. So this is a jelly finish, which means it does apply sheer, but you can build it up to full coverage. For my nails, it took 3 coats, but when I was swatching this, I was struck with a little bit of inspiration because I was thinking, this is such a cool jelly polish. I'm curious to see what it looks like over black or over white. And then I was thinking, you know, I've always wanted to experiment with different jelly polishes. And I've always wanted to try one polish over a ton of different colors and see how it changed. But I feel like they're always a part of a collection, and I feel like it would be kind of weird. There's never a standalone jelly release. But now we have one, and I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time to do my experiment. So I actually picked out 12 different polishes, mostly creams, but we got a couple other finishes in there that I wanted to test this jelly over and see how it transformed the base color. So that's what I'm doing today. So I will talk a little bit more about pricing and availability at the end of the video, but let's dive into my little experiment first. Of course, I am showing you over black and over white because those are the classic colors to try a shimmery iridescent polish over, in my opinion. But I'm also going through the rainbow. I'm doing some light colors. I'm doing some dark colors. We've got some warm tones. We've got some cool tones. We even have a little hollow in there. So yeah, let's dive into that. Then we'll talk about pricing and availability. So roll the comparison footage. So we're just going to start off with the classics. The first shade that I wanted to do was a black, so I used Cirque Memento Mori, which is their 1 coat black, and I paired Moonstone over it. And this was the first thing that made me want to do this video because seeing just how different it was over black versus on its own, it's just such a stark difference. I love how it becomes this intense green color. We've got little flecks of gold and even this reddish pinky kind of color coming out as well. It feels almost like snake skinny to me, and it definitely gives a fully different vibe that also works really well. And then of course I had to try it over white, so I used Carpe Diem, which is their white cream finish, and I knew that this was going to be completely the opposite effect, and I think I was right here. Obviously we get that blue base color really shining brightly over the white, and I think the white just kind of enhances and brightens it, so it becomes this soft lighter blue shade. We also see a lot more of that pinky golden kind of shimmer running throughout. It definitely looks soft, ethereal, angelic kind of vibes. So then I got really curious about seeing it over a warm toned color. I went with this shade, the Devil Wears Cirque Colors. It's sort of this deep vampy red kind of shade, and I thought it would clash pretty horribly, to be honest, because having that blue base color I thought was just gonna completely muddy up that red shade. But surprisingly, I love how this turned out. You see a lot of that green, but mostly that golden orange, and it almost looks like a Christmas color, and I thought it worked really well. And honestly, at this point, I kind of just wanted to see this color clash over something else, so I went with an even lighter pinker kind of shade. So this is Strawberry Fields. It's sort of this pinky red cream finish, and I thought this for sure was gonna ruin the base color. But again, I feel like it didn't look bad at at all. Again, it gives me a little bit of a Christmassy vibe. It does darken the base a little bit. It gives it a little bit more of like a pinky purpley hue almost, but the green and orange really stand out so pretty against that base color. And again, I was very pleasantly surprised, but very surprised. So at this point, I was really impressed with how the polish layered, and I really wanted to test my limits. So I took out this shade Hustle, which is basically this chartreuse greenish yellow cream shade, and I thought for sure that this was going to clash. And at first swipe, I really didn't like it, but as I smoothed it out on the nails, I was thinking this gave me such like a grinchy fun color. I feel like if I didn't miss around the edges a little bit, this could look like just a funky green glitter, and I actually was pretty pleased with how it came out, surprisingly. Again, all of these were kind of surprises to me. So then I went back to a little bit more of like a medium deeper color because I knew for sure that this would look good. So I paired it with Renegade. This is just a simple green cream shade, and I knew that it was gonna look good and maybe cool it down a little bit, but I really love this combination. I feel like, again, it's giving me a little bit of like a Christmassy vibe. I love that almost tealish color that the base becomes, and I love that the sparkle looks super green on the nail. It feels very foresty and very pretty, but it also kind of looks like a little sparkly Christmas tree. Then I wanted to go with a classic, so I chose Sky High, which is a bright sky blue cream, and I knew that this was going to look good again because I do love to pair a jelly over a similar base color because I think it just enhances the shimmer in the polish while still giving you almost the same color that the polish looks in the bottle. So this really just felt like a nice iridescent shimmer over the blue. We get that nice colorful sparkle, and it almost gave me a little bit of like a silvery look because it was so similar to the base. So then I had to try a purple, and I went in with this super soft lavender pastel-y cream called a Fiori, but I feel like in general, a jelly like this with a slightly deeper base color, I think suits medium to darker base colors a little bit better, because if you're not really careful on your application, you could get a little bit of patchiness, but once I smoothed this out, I did think it looked really pretty. It kind of felt more like a periwinkle blue kind of color, but I do think I could have been a little bit more careful with the application there. And then we had what I would consider to be the first fail of the video. I paired it over a nude that matched my skin tone pretty well, which in this case was the shade Dakota. I actually did like the way that this looked at first, but then I saw that I missed like a little tiny area on my nail, so I went back in with a little bit more, and then it became a little bit patchy, so that was fully user error that it looked like this, but it definitely was interesting to see what worked and what didn't, and in this case, I think I kind of messed up here. So then I went back in with another deeper shade. This one is called Walnut, which is a really gorgeous, deeper brown cream finish. And I was not expecting this polish to sparkle so gorgeously over brown. I thought it was going to be a very similar vibe to the black, where it was just like a deep, dark color that really only saw the sparkle when it hit the light. But this transformed so completely into this intense green shimmer, and then when the light hit it, you saw the gold and the pink, and oh my gosh, I was just blown away by this combo. I think this was the surprise favorite of the whole bunch. So after I pretty much tried all of the creams in the rainbow, I decided to try it over a silver hollow. In this case, it was Subculture, which is one of my favorite silver hollows of all time, and I was curious to see how it would match up with Moodstone, and I think it actually turned out so pretty. It became this soft periwinkle shade. It definitely softened the hollow a lot, but you could still see, especially around my cuticle area, that it had that nice underneath sparkle, but it just added such a soft, beautiful coloring to it. And then my final experiment was to try it over Reflektor, which is their super, super reflective champagne sparkly metallic foil shade. And I honestly was not sure what to expect because this does have a little bit of a yellowy warmth to it with that champagne color, and I figured it would change the color into maybe more of a greenish tint, but it ended up kind of graying it out a little bit and looking more like gunmetal on the nail. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I think it's cool, but I'm not sure that I would wear it as a full manicure. So curious to hear what you guys think though. So here is a little combo shot of all of my experiments from today, and I have to say, I am very surprised. I kind of expected that after trying it over a few colors, it would really start to look the same over every shade, just because we do have that blue base color, and I thought it would kind of turn anything that I used into a blue color, but I was really surprised and impressed at how it performed, especially over warmer tones. I was really expecting it to clash and not work well, but I think the warmer tones ended up being my favorite out of all of my experimenting because they just turned it into this really interesting greenish gold kind of color, and it was a lot of fun to play around with. I feel like having this one shade was able to transform so many of my existing polishes, and a lot of these I would wear as a full manicure. So yeah, that was my little experimenting where I tried Moodstone over a bunch of different colors, and honestly, I am really surprised and impressed with the results. I was half expecting it to not look good over most colors just because of that blue base. I didn't think it would work over warmer tones or over lighter shades, but I think for a lot of them, it actually really enhanced the color and it made it look like its own polish. Because sometimes I feel like when you layer polishes, it looks like you just layered a weird polish over something else, but I feel like these could reasonably be their own polish. And I feel like if you saw somebody wearing this on their nails, you wouldn't think like, oh, that's a weird combination. You would think like, oh, that's an interesting polish. So that ended up being a really fun experiment. I definitely want to do it more often. So hopefully this is something you guys enjoyed as well. Definitely let me know in the comments which combo is your favorite. But yeah, let's get back to the polish really quick. I just want to give you a little bit more information just so you know it is a limited edition shade. Like I said, it is in support of the JED Foundation. It is one of the Do Good fundraising polishes. It comes in an 11 milliliter bottle. It has the special edition packaging, and it also comes with a silver cap and a round skinny brush. And this one is retailing on the Cirque website for $16.50 USD. And this is just one of the reasons why I love Cirque so much. I feel like they always do good. That was so dumb. But really, I mean, I think that they're really putting their brand to good use and they're making beautiful polishes, but they're also helping so many people and even animals with some of their do good polishes. So in this case, they are doing a $5,000 minimum to the JED Foundation, which is incredibly awesome. I really appreciate that. I absolutely love the brand. Highly recommend it. Obviously, wearing it on its own is super gorgeous, but I also really recommend experimenting over different polishes because I think it's just a fun way to make the most of your nail polish collection. Even if you don't have a massive amount of polishes like I do, it's really fun to kind of mix and match and layer your polishes and see what else you can create with what you already have. So yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think of this type of video, if it's something you would be interested in seeing more often, or if there's a particular polish or set of polishes that you want me to do a little experimenting on. You can definitely let me know in the comments, and I am still very curious about what is your favorite combination, so definitely let me know that as well. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. I also have a vlog channel. I'm currently doing Vlogmas, which means I'm posting a new video every single day. Just everyday life stuff, holiday stuff, opening a bunch of advent calendars. So definitely check that out. And I have a podcast called It's All Geek to Me where I watch nerdy franchises for the first time. So I'll link that down in the description. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my Royal Astronomer Amanda M, as well as my Cosmic Admirals Rocky Man's Daughter, Paula, Ken, and Rosie. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Pookie Bear, and Pookie Bear wants to know, what is at the top of your holiday list this year? You know, that's kind of a tough question because I feel like there's nothing really on my list right now. Honestly, it's been kind of an expensive year for me and Ryan. We moved across the country, which was a very big expense. I guess that kind of felt like our big gift to ourselves this year, like going to do this exciting move to a new place that we've always wanted to live. And I feel like we're kind of just trying to keep it a little bit more low key for the holidays. And honestly, I don't feel like I'm the greatest at giving or receiving gifts because I never know what I want and I never know what I want to give people. I feel like that's just such a difficult thing. I know some people are so good at gift giving, and I wish that I had that skill of gift giving because I feel like there are so many people who are like, I know exactly what I want to get this person because they mentioned this thing that was great a while ago and I remembered it and I wrote it down or I bought it and now I'm going to give it to them. And like, I always want to be that person and I always remember what people say they want, but then like, I'll be like, oh, you thought about that thing, right? You wanted that thing. And then they'd be like, no, I realized I don't really want it. Or they'd just buy it for themselves. So it's like, I feel like I never get to do that exciting gift giving thing. And then I also feel it's so hard for me to give a gift to somebody who I feel is very important in my life because I'm like, I don't think this gift is good enough to represent how much I love you. You know what I mean? So not great at gift giving, not great at gift receiving either, because I'm always like, whatever you want to give me, I'm happy with. Although honestly, I think I really am happy with whatever people give me because I'll get excited at literally anything. But yeah, I don't think we're doing any like big or exciting gifts this year. We bought a bunch of advent calendars as kind of like our holiday gift to ourselves. So we're doing that on Vlogmas, just opening them every day. So yeah, I don't have anything on my list. I guess all I want, this is going to be so lame, but I just want to have a good year in 2023. I want us to have health and happiness, and that's all I can ask for. That is lame though, I know. But if anybody wants to share what they really, really want for the holidays this year, you can also let me know in the comments, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!